Welcome back to the channel. In today's show, I have a special Christmas treat. In this interview with prominent Fluf community member Dominic Beleevens of Craft Clarity and the work that he's done with Matt, Cathal and Cillian of Ollamh Productions, a digital production house and Web3 bespoke writing service. We are storytellers, the mythic voice that understands the future. Basically, these guys are lore writers as a service. Pretty cool. And together they've been working on a fantastic bit of fan fiction around the gods and goblins lore, titled Snotwart Steals Christmas, a Goblin Town Tale, which is a modern take on an advent calendar, allowing parents and children to celebrate goblin lore with the magic of Christmas. Before the interview, let's take a view of their promo, and afterwards I'll get into the mint details and how you can get a mint at a discounted price. So with all that in mind, let's dive in.
Greetings, disciples of lore and of wisdom. I speak in my role as Vatessia's assistant, while trawling the archives at my usual work, serving the scholar of knowledge's church. I found an old parchment. I uncovered a treasure. I read it with laughter, to share its pleasure. It's not a dry, academic old tome. This major find is the first Goblin Christmas poem. It tells of the legend of Snotwart the Brave. It was told to their small ones before Christmas Day. It is written for grown-ups and children to share, of fluffs and of goblins and of party bears. The story of how they made peace for one night, all gathered together in joy and delight. It's a wonderful find, timed just for the season. The tale of a goblin, a hero to his kind, who steals Santa's magic and thieves Christmas time. It's a story of braveness, a tale of great woe. I must admit much of it's slimy and gross. I suppose that's what young goblins enjoy in a poem. It's a story of joy, the tale of forgiveness, but most of all it's about the meaning of Christmas, and in a spirit that's like Santa Claus's. A share of the proceeds will go to good causes.
Excellent. Brilliant. So yeah, no, thanks for having us on the show. That's really good to see. So I guess just to start, before we start, kind of introducing the project, we could just do a round of quick introductions ourselves. So my name is Matthew Breen. I work for a company called Ollamh Productions, and we're working as a collaboration with Beleevens on this specific project. So with him and Craft Clarity to kind of create this. I've been in crypto probably since the early side of like 2018, 2019. And so been in here kind of quite a few years, really big into the Futureverse ecosystem. I think it's onto some mad stuff that we're very excited to be part of. And that's also, where I've seen yourself before as well, is, through watching your show, and really excited to be part of it. So thanks a lot for that.
I'm Dom, or Beleevens, as most of me probably know. My professional background is UX design, so always thinking about the best possible user experience for people, and that also includes a little bit of storytelling and building products. And so we came up with a little idea as a drop, and I think we'll talk about that in a bit.
Excellent.
So how are we doing, guys? I'm Cathal. I am working with Matt. I'm a principal writer with Ollamh Productions. So that is my neck of the woods, storytelling, and storytelling is where I get my kicks. It's a lot of fun to work on projects like this. This particular one was a blast. I've been in the realm of storytelling for a very long time. I mean, since I was a kid, really. But 10, 11 years I've been on the festival circuit, I've been gigging, I've been pushing it that way. I've been in crypto for about 5 minutes. It's been a wild ride. I've been interested and involved for a lot longer than that, but it's nice to be getting the sleeves rolled up, so to speak.
Yeah, I recognise your voice from the little sample that I got sent from Dom earlier. So that's good stuff, and I'll include that in the show so people can have a bit of a listen to it.
Lovely. Thank you, Jerry.
Hello, how are you guys?
How are we doing, Cillian?
Good. Apologies for being a few minutes late.
No worries, just doing the intro, so perfect timing.
Do you want me to go next?
Yeah, you're up. Perfect.
Sweet. My name is Cillian. I've been involved in crypto, I guess, since about early 2017. I currently work with an American marketing company as my full-time job called Serotonin. which just does Web3 marketing strategies and often onboards Web2 companies into Web3. Yeah, very excited to be working on the project and to meet you guys.
Fantastic. Thanks very much. So who wants to take the lead just explaining a bit about the project and how it is all going to fit into the Futureverse?
Would you like to, Dominic, or?
Yeah, I'll go ahead. So a few weeks and months back, I released the fictional character of Vatessia The Historian, where everyone was like, even in the main Fluf Discord, asking like, is it an official account? And I wrote its unofficial lore. So Vatessia is placed inside of the world, the Fluff world of the gods and goblins, but definitely touching upon the whole story. And from there, I built a little community with the Vatessia disciples. And from there, I thought, okay, what can we do with it, right? What can we do from what is entertaining, what has utility, what is something we could release. And I came up with the idea to do a lore advent calendar. So that means you buy the NFT, which is the key to 25 doors of stories, which include hand-drawn illustrations, spoken stories, or like audio recordings. And so leading up to Christmas Eve, we have a story that's being told every day, a little more of the story. And yeah, I'm glad to have worked with like Matt and Cathal and Cillian to help me out, especially with the lore writing. And yeah, maybe they can also share a little bit about their part here.
Fantastic.
Yeah, for sure. So the project is a blast. It's always good to write for kids because kids are they're really critical thinkers, and they also are interested in the same things I'm interested in, which is gross out humor. Snotwart the Goblin was so fun to make. I mean, it was about a week of like constant writing, takeaway pizzas, and just deeply immersed in Goblin land. It was brilliant. So it's like I do regress a little bit to my inner child when I'm doing a project like this. If you're working for kids, you get in the mindset, you go like into like my favorite writers were always people like Roald Dahl. Roald Dahl, even his work for adults is like there's that kind of element of like it's self-propelling, it's juicy, you need to follow the thread of the energy through it. So kids writing really has that naturally for me. Like if you look at classic Dahl, if you look at like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, everything's like, it's got that ludicrousness, it's got that gross out stuff, it's got Augustus Gloop who falls in the soup, you know what I mean? It's like the chocolate soup. But yeah, you get it. It's fun, and fun is one of the reasons I'm a writer, because I love to do it.
Yeah, it's definitely a bit of a challenging topic, making something that's sort of demonic and potentially evil, but also making it playful and whimsical and entertaining at the same time. And I certainly picked up on those tones through what I've been reading and listening to so far. So yeah, good work.
No, I think like that gives you a chance to send up these kind of tropes as well, like even in the scene we have where Snotwart is giving Santa's hat back, not to like spoil the story or anything, but like ultimately like good wins out, and Snotwart is given the hat back and he's like, we wanted to use your powers for goblin kind, ruining Christmas was just a bonus, like sorry about that, Santa. So you kind of send it up a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Good stuff. How do you fit into the equation there, Matt?
So I work with Cathal. Actually, we have some of our own projects that we're doing on the side. So at the moment, myself and Cathal are retelling one of the oldest Irish texts, so some of our old Irish mythology, and then we're building a platform that will support other artists and creators. So yeah, basically, I kind of brought Cathal into the crypto space, but then also working with Dominic, I have quite a bit of experience in launching things and just generally helping with kind of marketing and stuff like that as well. So a lot in the strategy side as well. So, but yeah, basically part of it though is with one of the things we've seen in the crypto market in general is that there's such cool tech, there's such cool people who can do a lot of stuff around that tech. A lot of the projects that are coming out to do with the metaverse and stuff are going to rely on there being really good story. And I think, we're lucky in the Futureverse ecosystem. That's probably the one side of crypto where I see very good story, and just even the hints of that and everything else. And so, I'm finding it really exciting to kind of explore this space through the lens of, going alongside with Cathal. And we kind of, like we're doing for this project, we're able to offer kind of, story as a service, as well as other things around that that's, really useful. But we mainly got in here in the first place, though, because we're very passionate about the Irish mythology, and then the way that you can use crypto to actually support Irish creatives, using the myths of the past and everything else. So it's quite cool. We're trying, from our own point of view, we're very much trying to de-Anglicize and de-Christianize a lot of the myths, because even the book that we're rewriting, that was written by the monks, over 1,000 years ago. But there's even the first story was completely different according to the oral tradition. So that's what we're trying to put the pagan and the Catholic and all the versions of kind of our history, our prehistory, or pseudo history, kind of on the same page as well. But no, generally I think this has been a really exciting project to work on. I think getting to work with Dominic and kind of see how he approaches this, I think it's a really nice idea. I really like the way that it's not kind of utility that's coming 2 years down the line, you're getting a direct utility out of this, and I think it's something that's quite nice in the sense of, for a lot of the people who, might have spent a lot of money on JPEGs that not everyone in their family fully understood at the time. Now, I think they made a good bet betting on the Futureverse and everything else, but, being able to have something at Christmas where you're able to be like, oh, look, this is an activity I'm doing with the kids. It kind of probably puts you into, they have the family probably has a slightly better opinion of NFTs in general, or, the amount of time that's going into that, if you're able to actually, get an activity out of it. So, getting to hear the caliber, you got to hear the caliber of the kind of storytelling there for Cathal. We really tried to make sure it's something where it appeals to the kids, because, they like gross out humor and everything else. But, the people who are into the Futureverse, they generally got they're generally interested in interesting things. And I think that's something that we've tried to get across, which is just that there's enough depth to the story that those people are really able to come along as well. And, for us, it's been a lot of fun. It was very much something that, as a project, it wouldn't have been something that we'd have expected until we started talking to Dominic that we'd have done. And as soon as we were talking to him, the passion was just you catch it when you're kind of in the room with him and everything else. And that's something that he was able to pass on quite well to Cathal there as well.
Oh, awesome. Definitely sounds... Sorry, go on.
For us, we have this format which lends itself to the creation of moments that are shared. And it's Christmas, and okay, so the story is about a goblin who leaves an enormous trail of snot everywhere he goes, but it's still poignant, it's still beautiful, and it's actually, we were creating it with those moments over the Christmas period in mind, where parents would get together with their kids and they would have something from their world that goes directly into theirs. And that was what we were trying to create. I feel like we actually have nailed it. I think we're all quite pleased with the project at this point. It took some work to get here, but we kicked butt. So
my 6-year-old daughter, she listened to it tonight as part of her bedtime routine, and she wanted to give it a love heart on the Spotify app that we were listening through.
Brilliant.
So I think that's a good sign that you're on to a winner.
That's the real critics.
Yeah, I know. So I think a little bit of it was lost on her, but she certainly picked up all the Flufward characters that were mentioned in it. So, so I think you're onto a winner here, which is quite cool.
That is the best review I've ever had. Sweet.
I just work primarily on the Discords and the Twitter, and how exactly you can take these sort of narratives and put them into some sort of actionable items, essentially, so that there is this user journey when people go through and engage with the story. But yeah, incredible story. Looking forward to hearing more reviews like that.
So that's the story as a service, as you said, sort of just taking up some of the organic community content and then sort of filtering it through, what you guys all do and churning out something sort of at a higher quality perhaps than just a single person can do on their own. Is that kind of where you guys are targeting?
Yeah, it is. It's pretty much that expertise like, the way in crypto, for example, if you want something done with AI, you're going to go to an AI expert. It's kind of similar. There's a lot of people trying to create stories within the crypto space who, they're going to make an all right story, but a story can't be an afterthought if the story is one of the 4 or 5 main pillars of your project. And that's something that, we've seen with a lot of different things that are out there. It's because the other stuff around them is just so cool. Like if you have tech that's that good, and you're not a storyteller naturally, you're not really going to bother spending as much time on the story because you have such good tech. And so that's, really what we're there for, is because a lot of these people who are trying to build community, who are trying to build something that's just a bit deeper than a Twitter profile, just a bit deeper in how they interact with their communities and everything else, then, that's what we're really there for. So we're happy to meet with, any of the companies, especially around the Futureverse and stuff, because we see that as like, if we're going to do it for anyone, we may as well do it for people that we believe are going to be quite successful. And we definitely, out of all the NFT ecosystems, like we believe in the Futureverse, as we think that they're the one that's going to grow. They're the one who's doing the most cool stuff. They're the one who has access to the most tech and partnerships. And so very much, we're trying to have it as something that's positioned mainly towards them, but we are quite happy to do, this kind of storytelling as a service for other projects and everything else as well.
So would you guys consider this sort of NFT as kind of a genesis asset, like maybe some future utility around the services that you guys are hoping to continue to build out, or is this a standalone type thing?
So this is going to be more, I think this is going to be more of a standalone project initially, because this is, first and foremost, this is a project by Craft Clarity where we're assisting with it. And so, that's just to be very clear there. And,
Sure.
this is completely Dominic's idea and everything else. And we're just, we're tools to help make it possible. And then the other side of it, I guess, is while he's looking forward to having like, direct utility and everything else being the core idea there, that, you're not waiting 12 months for something to come along. I think that, from what he said around the fact that if this goes well for one kind of event, like, if the advent calendar goes well, why wouldn't we have a particular Valentine's thing? Why wouldn't we have these other occasions like, Halloween, Samhain, these kind of things? We could do other occasions quite easily. And then it would be quite likely that there could be additional utility given to those original believers. We just wouldn't want to necessarily promise it until something exists.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
No, I just had to ask.
Direct with it.
Trying to get a bit of alpha.
But yeah, I think it would usually be something like a Freeman or something like that could be the type of way we approach it, or a reduced price and getting the later one. I think that's probably something that we will be looking at. But I think the main thing is that you get the utility straight away, which is that, you get to get your NFT. Your NFT gets to open these doors, which you open with your kids, you can open yourself. And then each of those doors will give you a little bit of the story in an illustration each day. And then on like the 6th day, I can't remember exactly which one we did, but there's about 4 or 5 days where you get like a full chapter, basically, and that's all read out by Cathal Holden as well. So that's really what you're getting fundamentally. And the main thing then is these are probably the best quality stories that I'd say it's the top unofficial lore in the Futureverse ecosystem, but that's because there's not that much unofficial lore.
Yeah.
But no, I do think it's very high quality for what it is, and I don't think you're going to be able to find kid stories that kind of hit those tones where adults are interested in them, but also involve the kind of characters that have made a lot of people around here lots of money.
Yeah, it's certainly not something
I think
to buy and flip. It's clearly you're into it. That's why you want to participate and be involved in the story and in that sort of rolling lore as it evolves over time.
Yeah, and I really loved when Matt first approached me, I had written a little story of my own, but I'm not a storyteller, I'm not an author. I used the tools I have at hand, and then I really loved that he proactively approached me, and I was like, okay, let's do something unique here. And when I read the first verses of Cathal, I was like, okay, that's like a whole other level from what I originally did. And but I think we really well added to each other. Like our skill sets match perfectly. And from a storytelling perspective, just to give you a glimpse or a view on how much we then in the end produced, it is basically a 20-minute audiobook, divided into chapters, with 25 hand-drawn illustrations from our illustrator. So it is also not only the hand-drawn illustrations, but we intend to also release it without colors so that people can actually print out the illustration and then do like coloring by numbers, like in that format. So
very clever. My daughter's gonna love this.
We put lots of thought into we do a story that's cool for parents, for kids, but also for anyone who is in the ecosystem. I think anyone will enjoy it. And then add on top of the base and core story, like little additional utility or gimmicks where we have the illustration. Why not just remove the colors and do it as a drawing book, and that we approach it from that side. And also for what Matt mentioned, that it's like you buy it, you get immediately the utility. It is for now a closed drop, let's say. And it is where I think usually the normal advent calendar is get some chocolate. And it's like one illustration and the kids open it and they eat it, and of course chocolate is not in limited amounts. It's okay, but it's not the most healthy. And why not build an advent calendar which is based on lore, which is storytelling, which is fun, which is entertaining, where parents and kids can do something together, and do a similar price. Such a chocolate advent calendar can easily cost $50. We intend to release the NFT in this price range, and then it's like, okay, you want to have the normal one or you want to have the cool one? So it's that's our thinking behind that one.
One thing that you said there, the bonding experience between the parent and child, I actually think is a huge factor in this, because Christmas is a time about family, and although the content is slightly different, let's say, but that bonding experience between a parent and a child over the whole course of a month and interacting with something on a much deeper level, which brings out all these myths and things that are within stories, children's stories, I think is a huge factor in this.
Oh, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. My wife's actually a librarian by trade, so it's a big part of our lives and reading every night, and my daughter's now totally into audiobooks as well, so that sort of different mixed mediums, I think it's a great concept, and I can't wait to see it come out. So what are the details around the mint?
Yeah, so we will release it in the next days. So we are approaching December, right? Yeah. There will be a pre-sale, a free mint for certain trades. Every trade counts, as we all know. And so we will do that. We will announce this in our Discord, the specific date and the specific trades. But maybe you can imagine already for Christmas which trades might be affected from the Fluf ecosystem or Fluf World collection. And then we will have the public mint around the 28th to the 30th of November. So right before the December starts and people can open the doors. That's the timing we had for. It will be announced in the Discord. So yeah.
Sounds good. Is there any parting words you guys wanted to go out with, or any other details that you wanted to cover?
Yeah, Jerry, can I read some of the poem out? Can I bash
Absolutely.
in the first couple of verses? This is
please do.
Wonderful. All right, so this is its first real airing in the world itself, and I'm very proud of the work. I think it's fun. Christmas was coming to a land Christmas loves, where the party bear people, and the ones they call fluffs, sipped peppermint chocolate from piping hot cups. And as for the snow, there was heaps of the stuff, piling in mountains and falling in puffs. But don't worry, they're furry, they don't mind the cold. It fills them with fun, they're a sight to behold. But goblins were scheming and dreaming of ways to ruin the biggest of Christmas's days. They pick goblin-y noses, while the pluffs all play games. They make goblin-y plans. I fluffed that one with gross sugar canes. That should have been the other one. They dreamed up a plan and they thought up a trap. They schemed to steal Santa's most magical hat. These terrible fiends thought surely that then Christmas would certainly come to an end. It would be cancelled, kaput, completely annulled. The stockings all empty, not one of them full. So while the fluffs played, goblins sprung into action. They called upon Snotwart, their rare airship captain, a goblin of daring and filthy ambition, to fly into Fluf on a hat-stealing mission. Now, Snotwart, it seems, should be introduced by telling you just how much snot he produced. Each hour on the hour he oozed a half-pot out of his tremendous, remarkable schnoz. It was the colour and size of a too-ripe courgette. Snotwart was proud of his snout, oh you bet. And to expand on this metaphor more so, the texture itself was quite similar also. But the point that I'm making is Snotwart left a trail of snot right behind him, just like a fat snail.
Bravo. I was trying hard not to laugh there over the top of you. That was great.
That was really good.
Yeah, this is the vibe. It's like this. It's a giggle throughout. Like it's and it's targeted so that its kids and adults can share it, and that it creates those moments that are joyous and that are fun in the lead up to Christmas. And the finale is as festive as you please. It really goes somewhere delicious. I'm quite proud of this story. It really does.
No spoilers. No, I think like it was amazing to see the story evolve. Maybe a little like final words on that one. It is all fan fiction, right? We don't know about how the whole world of gods and goblins will evolve. It is, imagine it like a novelist inside of the world writing a poem, and so it's not if you see something in there and you think it's alpha for the official project, probably it's not, because we don't know anything, this as a parting notes, it's like a meta level of lore inside of a Fluff world of a author publishing who wrote this poem for goblin kids, or flufflets,
So I think it's fantastic. So thanks so much for making the time, guys. I really appreciate it, and I can't wait to actually see the project. And I'll definitely share all your links and everything in the show notes as I get them, and we can go from there. But thanks very much, guys. I really appreciate your time.
Jerry, fabulous. Lovely to meet you.
Lovely.
Thank you so much for having us.
No worries.
Brilliant.
My pleasure.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Chat soon. Cheers now. Bye.
Have
Cool.
a great day. Take care now. Follow the path.
To get a discounted mint for the collection, jump into the Discord and complete some tasks to become a Vatessia disciple. Also, if you hold one of the following NFTs with a particular trait, you can get the discounted price of 0.04 ETH. Seekers with Snot Paint, Adam Membership Holo Card, Jardu Ava with Trippy Skin, Crypto Walkers with Clown Shoes, Hardy Bears with Clown Nose, A for All-Star Magic Plunger, Drug Receipts, Green RX Hat, Polymorphs with Ice Skates, Thingies with the Fairy Backpack, Pixel of the Apes, Zoodle X Lulu High Profits, and the Hume Genesis Ultra Rare. The final edition is open for anyone to mint at a price of 0.08 ETH. However, I think it's well worth completing the tasks to become a Vatessia disciple, but you best be quick because the window closes soon. Thanks very much for watching. If you enjoy this content, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and maybe consider watching one of my other videos. Bunnies up!